Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by bet365. Use that promo code Leading Off when you sign up at bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Look, it's the Welsh, it's Joey P. And of course, it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. And everything's back to normal here on the yard today, so no technical difficulties, thank goodness. Welsh, at the top of the show, I have something for you. Would you like to have it?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to have it. That actually,
there you go. It's a loaded question. I'm going to show you my O face. Ohtani. Home run yesterday, baby. Let's go. So I'm up on the board again. Let's get after it. I know a lot of people on social media yesterday saw it and like, Joe's going to be annoying. And I said, well, how is that different than any other day, Welsh?
Yeah, I see those homers go. 440, oh no, feet. I'm like, there we go.
In all fairness, anybody on the Dodgers yesterday was probably a good investment.
Well, also, it was one of those classic days, if you guys remember at the end of the show, where I talked myself. I was like, by the way, kind of really like Bryce Harper, but let's go with Bobby Witt. I do this all the time. I will literally say the guy that I should pick, but I'm like, but I'm stupid, so I'm going to take the not one.
I got the solution for you. You need a dummy Discord account where you have like the anti-Welsh. And then eventually anti-Welsh gets enough home runs when it's like the second guess Welsh, like Welsh Jr., whatever it is.
The Melsh. It'll just be like W, but the M down.
You turn upside down. Oh, that's very good. That's very like bad.
Is it the Melsh?
Comic book. Is it the Melsh?
No, I like it.
I love this. Look at this here. Jerry Nelson enjoying a chicken cutlet sandwich and hanging out with us. There's nothing better than I just had a chicken cutlet before I came on.
What's a cutlet? No, I know. Listen, but like, how would you describe a cutlet more than like a fried?
All right, I make outstanding chicken cutlets. My children know this. First of all, you got to get good chicken. You can't just go by any. Like, you got to get good.
No, I got the chicken part.
You pound out the chicken. You do the egg, the flour, the breadcrumbs. You fry them up. The baking. You want to live forever. Good for you. A proper chicken cutlet. You pound the hell out of it. Get it a little thinner, and then you go ahead and you fry that bad boy, a little bit of salt at the end. Boom. You make sure you salt and pepper, a little garlic powder too. I like to do before I dredge them, but that's how you.
But what makes it cutlet? What exactly makes the cut and the lit?
Let's move on.
Why is everybody freaking out on me in the chat?
I don't know. Let's talk about more good things. Cole Reagan's 6 innings, hit the strikeout number. It was a good day, Welsh. It's a good day. We're up, finally back, rock and roll. And Zach Wheeler, 11 strikeouts for clearly the Cy Young leader right now in the National League. Like, he is the guy to beat. So the question is, Welsh, can Zach Wheeler maintain this pace? Somebody on X just hit me up. My pitching stinks. My hitting is great. Can I trade Freddie Freeman for Zach Wheeler? I said he could.
Could you trade Freddie Freeman for Wheeler?
I think that's all right.
I don't think, well, no, you could do it. I don't think you're going to do it. I think with the landscape of pitching, I think Zach Wheeler might be one of the toughest dudes to go acquire right now. Any really, really good starting pitcher is going to cost way more on the hitting front that you want. I think I'd be willing to. I think it's an even Stevens type of deal. But, like the lack of walks in the positive way for Wheeler, the big strikeouts, I kind of wanted to play a ladder yesterday with Wheeler and didn't work out. But yeah, I mean, you've got the offensive support. He looks as locked in as all can be. But yeah, I think it's going to cost like first round type of talent. Freeman's interesting because I think if I were to present, we were to do a poll and we were like, would you trade Ellie De La Cruz for Zach Wheeler? I feel like people would like freak out like, oh my God, but Ellie's got the upside. But even though like Freddie Freeman is so safe, there's a little bit of a boringness to him. Not elite, stolen bases, not elite homers. He's just good everywhere. People would be more willing to move a Freddie Freeman for a Zach Wheeler than they would an Ellie De La Cruz. But those are the names that I think would probably take to get a Zach Wheeler right now. And is that going to be worth it? I don't know.
A cutlet, by the way, the official definition, a thin slice of meat from the leg, ribs, or other parts of veal, pork, or chicken. So typically, like, you take one single piece of chicken breast and then you pound it out. You got to pound it. You got to tenderize your meat.
You pound your meat.
That's how you get your stress out. You just
how do you do it? Yeah.
You do it like this. That's how you do it. You do it like that.
We get a blur effect.
Yeah. Walker Buehler returned to the mound. 3 runs, 4 innings. Monday's game against the Marlins there. So again, good to have him back healthy. Justin Steele also returned yesterday, 4 2/3 shutout inning. So Steele was better. San Diego offense continues to struggle, by the way. Just saying, I love the Cubbies today with Imanaga on the mound against was it Randy Vasquez and the Padres?
Yeah, they brought up Randy
Nobody
Vasquez.
in that lineup except Luis Ariz has seen Imanaga yet, and he was 0 for against him. So just saying, today's a good day to Imanaga. But what'd you think about Wheeler and I'm sorry, Wheeler? What'd you think about Steele and Walker Buehler?
Yeah, I want to talk about Wheeler. So you got that in. When you said Zach Wheeler earlier, I was like, this is
Walker Buehler, if you put it together, it's Wheeler.
The fake players that we've created. We have got this roster of like MLB The Show fake players and my John Wick character.
More baseball stars, but yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever. It's the 7th year into MLB The Show or something like that. But getting back to Walker Buehler, 22% whiff rate overall, 27% CSW. He was averaging like 91 on the cutter, but the fastball, that was kind of like the big thing. That thing was back. It was actually up over that last time we had seen him. It was averaging just at 96. That was key to me. So all the different variations of fastballs that he throws, solid knuckle curve in there, getting some whiffs, 33% whiff rate. I actually thought it was really encouraging. And you guys heard me. I was like not super into Walker Buehler for this first start. He did give up some early on, but that was good. On the Justin Steele side, my man, Justin Steele looked pretty locked in. I did say this was probably not the start to go big. I wanted to do the strikeouts early on, but going up against the Padres, that wasn't the first play to it. But like you can be comfortable with Justin Steele clearly moving forward. And I really think it's more about Walker Buehler here. Walker Buehler looks like he is in that oldish form. So I feel very positive about that. Though,
very good. Yeah.
I wonder if you consider moving him after a couple starts, knowing the trade in history.
That's interesting. Okay, here we go. Walker Buehler for Jarren Duran. Who would you rather have rest of season?
I do.
I don't know why.
Yeah, you do. I don't.
Today.
I don't. I haven't had a cutlet, I guess, today.
I ate my chicken before the show, and look at me. All that protein's just surging through my veins right now.
You guys don't understand, by the way, how difficult it is on our time zones. It's lunchtime, crazy time for Joe. I'm tired. It's like 9 a.m. I get up at 7 a.m. to get ready for the show, and Joe's like, I've had my day, blah, blah, blah. Like our energies are
already been to the gym. I've already eaten my protein. I'm already, had 3 meetings, recorded 2 videos.
Pounded your meat. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But I might lean Walker Buehler because of the Dodgers and just like the pitching market in general. But I'm talking about like selling high. Stop laughing.
I hope everybody enjoyed Welsh's last day on the program today. It's been a good run.
Oh, okay. I wasn't the one that was like this for 12 minutes on the show.
I was just showing people how a cutlet is prepared.
I know. And that's all I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You pounded the cutlet.
Move on. Jack Flaherty, still Jack Flaherty. What? I mean, this is not something I saw coming. Like I thought, again, I think I said this on this show. If not, I said it on the TV show. I said there was a part of me this year that was like, Jack Flaherty. What if this is the year where Jack Flaherty kind of like puts it back together? Wouldn't that be something? I never
asked that question.
I did. I asked that question aloud, and I went, nah. And I just I can't do this. And I wish I did. 6 more strikeouts in 6 innings. They did lose to the Guardians, but he only gave up 2 runs. It was still a really good start for Jack Flaherty. Now, here's the thing. It's been really solid for the first 6 starts for this guy. Is this the perfect example of the prototypical, I don't know if he's in your video this week, of the sell high guy? Because Flaherty so far has been unbelievable. He's been free. There is a script where you could write where the injuries come back around. There is a script where you could write where, obviously, the Detroit Tigers are still very much a negative, a work in progress, where they're still, not very good. When you look at the deeper stats of Jack Flaherty too, just to kind of throw this out there, 3.86 ERA on the year, his expected ERA 2.99, his xFIP 2.24. So this is not like smoke and mirrors. So do you hold or do you sell Flaherty?
I'm a sell. I mean, this might be one of those just Welsh is going to be dead on wrong the whole year. That's fine. I don't buy it. I don't buy the Flaherty stuff long term. I understand what he's doing is amazing, but he hasn't been consistent. That's the thing. That's the only thing about him is he's been wildly inconsistent. I was trying to look at this right now and I'm not finding it. All right, here we go. I wanted to look at pitch values on Flaherty because one thing feels very Eric Lauer from a couple years ago is just how like dominant his fastball is right now. Because in this last start, I know. Well, no, Eric Lauer, like 2 years ago, he had like one of the highest rated pitch values of a fastball, the most whiffs. His fastball was destroying everybody. But that is a very like reliever type thing. Like starting pitchers getting all of your whiffs and stuff like that. They just don't usually like long-term hold when it's all about the fastball. Flaherty had 9 whiffs, a 41% whiff rate on his fastball in this last start, 9 swinging whiffs, 5 on the slider. It's been good. So I'm saying all this to say, all right, I wanted to see what do his pitch values look like. His slider is currently the 111th, but it's a positive. His fastball is a positive, but it's only at a 1. That is his curveball. His fastball right now, even though he got all those whiffs, this is what I'm leading to. -6 run value, a -6. That fastball is doing a lot of stuff that is still not massively valuable. And I don't think the secondaries are as good. He's probably way outperforming because he wasn't even on my radar. I'm like, Jack Flaherty, get out of my face. Get out of my face.
All right, well, let's talk about the opponents, too. He's faced the White Sox, the A's, the Twins twice, Tampa's offense, the Cardinals' offense that strikes out a ton, and Cleveland yesterday.
Every single one of those but Cleveland, massive strikeout guys. Here's where I'm wrong. Flaherty has value, where I'm like, nope, never, not going to do it. But what I do love at this point, like you alluded to, there are some underlying stats that speak pretty well to him. I would sell him. Maybe you could sell him for Walker Buehler right now. Probably not, because I don't think anyone believes.
Yeah, no one's going to buy no one's going to buy a guy on the Tigers over a guy on the Dodgers. But I think it is more of a, what was that face?
I'm just fixing. Sorry. Sometimes I don't know if you're looking. I was just like,
look, you're still on camera. So everyone's
no, but like we're reading.
You literally
sheets,
made this face in the camera. You went,
well, no,
you
I was
Danny
just like,
Zuko Grease for a second.
Listen, I have a relationship with the audience sometimes when you're reading sheets and stuff like that, and I was just letting them know I acknowledge that I was just fixing my hair.
you made like the duck face kind of thing that you were like, it was very, oh my God, I gotta get pretty for leading off. Oh my God.
I do.
Nick Castellanos single double walk twice. So hopefully he's starting to pull out of things. I told you, you're missing your window to buy on Nick Castellanos. Buy now. Rookie looky, little sad here thing. Parker Meadows expected to be optioned today to AAA. I know that was one of your guys, but it's okay. Things will get better. Mason Black, not very good yesterday. 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 1/3 against the Phillies. Paul Skenes scheduled to pitch for AAA again this week. Welsh, this was not in the plan.
No, this was a counter plan because I had said I thought this start coming up was the Paul Skenes start. Here's the one thing though: the last start, he wasn't very good. The previous one, we nailed it. 75 pitches. So this was the start. We needed 80. He went 66. He went less because he walked a few. He gave up his first homer. I don't really understand why they babied him down. Part of me was like, ooh, maybe they're babying him down a tiny bit to get him going. I'm baffled by this stuff. Might be the next start. If it's not the next start, then I clearly don't know what the hell I'm talking about and I can't figure it out. But I thought it was this one. So it's either the 17th or the 18th. And here are the 2 starts, though. Both are against the Cubs. Why did I think they would do it on this one? Because it's at home. He could face the Cubs at home in Pittsburgh. Otherwise, he's going on the road to Chicago.
If you want the big gate, I get that. You know, you want to have that big first start at home. I'm all for that. Pirates fans have not had a lot to cheer about in the last 10 years. Give him something. Here's a question from Andy T. Are Pirates going to shut down Jared Jones at some point and backfill with Skenes? No, they're going to shut them both down at some point. I hate to break it to everybody.
I don't think they will. I think
they're shut them down.
No, I think they're managing. If they're in it, they're not shutting these guys down. If they are completely out of it, then they're just going to like super baby. I don't know if there'll be any like massive actual shutdown. They're babying Paul Skenes right now, in theory, to not have to do crazy babying at the back end of the year. Jared Jones, I mean, if certain starts, they didn't let him go 60 pitches. I don't know. We also just don't know what's going on with the Pirates. Why would you not have Paul Skenes? Why is Mason Black making it to the majors and Paul Skenes isn't when he's the most dominant minor league pitcher we've seen since like Steven Strasburger, or I think Strasburger actually jumped up to the majors.
It's funny you said that. I was thinking the other day, which I don't do too often because I know that's probably a dangerous thing for me. But I was thinking, about pitching prospects with this level of hype and anticipation. And of course, Strasburg comes to mind.
Sure.
And we all know what became of that, which was bouts of disappointment an injury with every now and then sporadic greatness. I think, is that fair? Is that a fair assessment
Sure.
of the Strasburg career? Mark Pryor was another guy that popped
I was
into my
thinking
head.
of Mark Pryor too. You and
Were
I are
you?
dumb
Okay,
brains
that's
together.
why we're friends. So Mark Pryor was another one where you had the, oh my God, this guy is going to be can't miss. We all drooled over ourselves, overinvested, and it was short-lived and never had, at least Strasburg had the other glimpses.
You're going down a path people are not going to like where you're starting to go.
I know. And then Fred Dinger got the other one here, which is Kerry Wood. Again, the same kind of thing. Now, Kerry Wood did last a little while, and Kerry Wood did have like a little second life there towards the end and relief and stuff like that. But still, it is difficult. Even going back to the ages of Dwight Gooden back in the 80s, right? Where you have this pitching prospect that is just so thunderous and everybody must see television. It doesn't always work out well. And I'm not saying Skenes is going to be that guy. Like, Skenes could turn out to be Roger Clemens, where he's just great and he has a Hall of Fame career and he delivers on that. But it is worth noting that it feels like more often than not, every time I tried to find one of these guys that had this level of hype around him and this level of anticipation coming to fruition and actually being what we wanted it to be, it hasn't worked out more often than not. And I don't want that to be the case because Skenes is good for baseball. But at the same time, Welsh, do you have that same reservation that I do where you're kind of like watching and hiding your eyes at the same time?
I don't, I just don't approach like players like that. Like, oh, hey, there are other guys that were super good. So this guy that's super good might not be that. Like, yeah, there is a big track record when you go through the players, but I don't know. The game continuously changes. The management of players changes. The injuries are changing players and stuff like that. I just think it's good to be critical, even though, like, I was thinking about this the other day, like the, Kyle Manzardo stuff. Kyle Manzardo comes up to the majors and for 3 strikeouts in the first one, and we kind of talk so glowingly and stuff like that. And I can, but you can understand like people get frustrated and stuff like that. It's just because baseball is unlike any other sport in how long it takes for the game to fully catch up. And sometimes guys,
there's more failure always because you fail 70% of the time. You're great. With pitchers, you fail 70% of the time. You're out of the league.
Yeah. Mackenzie Gore before getting blasted by
Mackenzie Gore does not have the same level.
No, but I'm saying like Mackenzie Gore was tippy top and then kind of came back and then has like slowly been finding himself. There's a lot of Jack Flaherty. There are guys that end up finding themselves and there's ups and downs.
Sure.
I guess the way that it can fail is when we let our preconceived hype take over a certain player and don't allow for growth, or also an understanding that Paul Skenes right now is the tippy top of the prospect world. And then if we look back and we're like, he was good, he was really solid, then it's like a failure. The only real thing that equates to what you're saying to me is shortened careers that are destroyed. Matt Harvey, someone brought up in the chat.
But even Matt Harvey, like, I remember when Matt Harvey came up and it was like, oh, wow, they've got this pitching prospect that's really come along quickly, things like that. He wasn't the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He wasn't a guy that went from college to AAA to major leagues. He wasn't a guy that was at like what Skenes is doing right now is just unbelievable. It is Strasburg, I guess, the only guy in recent memory and prior that I can remember that was like this, where it was like a fever pitch, and no pun intended, but like that to me is where we're at with Skenes. And it does beg that question about how much of a haul could you get for Skenes in a dynasty league right now? Like it is so just. Everyone's so wrapped up in it. It is an interesting conversation. I'm glad we're having it too.
And the last thing I would end is I do think one of the reasons that maybe you can be positive of the babying of Paul Skenes is I think they know when he gets to the majors, the control is kind of gone. The proverbial control is kind of gone because once he's there, like he's just going to go. Like you can't have him fail. You can't bring him down. You can't do major shutdowns. I think they know they just have to go. So they are babying this process across the board. And then everything else, for us from a fantasy perspective, is it going to be worth it? It probably is. It really, it reminds me of maybe even how Max Scherzer came out early on. Maybe there'll be a few blow up games, but just big strikeout games that are coming. And that's why we're holding.
Yeah,
and
but
that's why
even if he went to Detroit that he figured things out.
Yeah, well, Diamondbacks mismanaged. They had weird period of time where guys couldn't throw certain pitches and stuff. But if it's not this start, I do believe it's going to be the next start. We just wanted to get to that 80 pitch mark. We didn't get it in the last start. And I think that might be key to him starting this next one, which might put him on the road. Or maybe they just keep playing with us. And as I tweeted, we're going to need Kendrick Lamar to help us get Paul Skenes there.
I feel like everyone's tweeting to Kendrick Lamar and Drake right now, like trying to get
Meet the Charringtons was my tweet. So
and look, I know Strasburg won a World Series, guys. Like, I get it. Like, I know he had some good seasons, but you can't look back at the career of Strasburg and say that it reached the potential of what it could be. There's just that's just being false. It's just not true. 3 up and 3 down. Yeah, that's a definition, by the way. We learned the definition of true and false and the definition of cutlets today on the program. Corey Seager, 3-run homer. That's an up. Simeon Woods Richardson, 8 strikeouts. Well, 8. No decision, but still 8. Boy, that Mariners offense sure could use some help. Mariners, get on that. Mitch Keller, 2nd career complete game, 3rd win of the season against the Angels. So Mitch Keller's got to be the most infuriating guy. Like, he has these starts where he looks dreadful, then all of a sudden throws a complete game, and you're just like, what? How? 3 down, Tyler Anderson. We just talked about selling Tyler Anderson, right? We talked about the difference of his ERA and his xERA and those other numbers. Well, 4 earned runs. Again, against the Pirates, not good. Matt Chapman, 0-4, 3 Ks. And Rodri Munoz, 6 runs, 7 hits, 4 2/3. So not good for him. Ton of injuries, so let's just fly through them here because we got bets and other things to get through. Blake Snell, today's going to face live hitters. That's good. Braxton Garrett, 13 strikeouts over 5 2/3. Now, it was just Florida Complex League, but still, good on you, Braxton Garrett.
By the way, real quick, Florida Complex League, I was at the Arizona Complex League yesterday, last night. There is another, I just want to point this out. This has nothing to do with this. Would have been better for Rookie Lookie, but you got me thinking about it. There's another Guerrero coming. You can see on my timeline, Pablo Guerrero, Vlad's other son, playing out here for the Rangers. So make sure to follow me on Twitter thinking of that. If we only had a major leaguer pitching, they all strike out everybody. Remember, these are 17, 18-year-old kids that are out there. So Braxton Garrett's 13 is more equivalent to like 4 in real life terms.
There you go. There's the equivalency. AJ Puck struck out 2 in his rehab assignment in 1 inning. Nady Eovaldi's got good news, apparently on the groin, so he's making progress. Jake Berger coming off the IL. So yay, guys actually playing baseball. Francisco Alvarez had the stitches removed from his left thumb. So that's a good thing. We'll hopefully get more news on that. Maybe he'll make a sooner recovery. Who knows? Probably not. Christian Yelich was taking part in batting practice and fielding a little, so maybe working his way back to return, just in case. Keep an eye on that. Austin Hayes begins his rehab assignment, which I can only means Heston Kjerstad's going to get sent down. Great. And then Wyatt Langford finally did hit the IL with the hamstring, and it's also Brian Wu time. Could be activated this weekend against the A's. I know people are asking about Wu. There you go. We gave you the Wu, and you know what else we give the people, Welsh, besides the Wu? Do you know what else? I'm asking. It's legitimate.
Oh, I thought it was like more rhetorical. Joe, what else do we give the people?
We give them the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. This is the NPR version of Bets of the Day with Joey P and the Welsh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the show.
We're going to do Fantasy Pros and the LB channel. If you would like to place your bets with Leading Off, do that with the promo code Leading Off at Bet365, where you can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets. All right, Welsh, let's get back from the NPR version of the program there. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. I'm sure you did. Let's start with Luis Gil. Under 5.5 strikeouts today, plus 110. Again, the Astros don't strike out a lot. I've been beaten to death the 2 times I tried to go against that, and I'm just going to give in now. You're getting plus money on this bad boy on the under. So let's go with the under on that one. The Cubs on the run line. Shoto Imanaga, I mentioned this at the top of the show on Leading Off. Guy's got an ERA under 1. He's undefeated. This is the first time around the league for him. First time the Padres are seeing him. The only guy that's seen him so far is Arise, who went over against him. I think it's going to be a long day at the office for the Padres. Plus 138 on the minus 1.5 run line for the Cubbies today. I love this one. So give me the Cubs on that plus 138 number. And Jose Butto, I didn't believe in you last time. You proved me wrong. It's going against the Cards today. They strike out a ton. Over just 4.5 strikeouts at minus 104. This is a great one. And as far as the parlay of the day goes, let's go back to those Cubbies here. Randy Vasquez on the other side of this game. I want the Cubs. I want Shoto Imanaga. Give me the over 4.5 strikeouts on Imanaga. It's a small number. He can get to 5. And give me that run line. You give me both of those, you get 2.5 to 1. So that is the parlay of the day. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
I like some of your plays. I actually think your Luis Gil one is very sneaky. I might tail that one. That's he's tough because he's a big strikeout guy, but this is not the team. We've also seen walk issues with it. more I think about it, I think I am going to tail that one. I've got a strikeout for one for you as well, and it's a little bit of a parlay. So Shoto Imanaga, who we like, it's a tough matchup. I want to take the just normal over Ks, but Padres, as we mentioned yesterday with Justin Steele, they can be a little bit tough. I'm tumbling it down a little bit, and we're going Shoto Imanaga, 4 strikeouts plus, pairing that with Kyle Harrison at 5 strikeouts. Who's got Colorado? Who was awful? They always strike out. So 5 strikeouts for Harrison, 4 from Imanaga, pair them together, minus 112. I know it's not big plus money, but I really like that one. I personally put 2 units on it. That's my one of my favorite plays of the day. Arizona Diamondbacks. So the first 5, you can get the money line over at Bet365, one of the best lines out there at minus 125. They've got Zach Gallen on the mound going up against Frankie Montas. Gallen has been a little bit wishy-washy, but the offense for the Arizona Diamondbacks keeps going. Frankie Montas with the return from injury. I like Arizona. You can also, and this is one I'm personally playing, if you don't want to just play the money line's safer because if it's tied, you just push your bet. But if you want to play the Diamondbacks are up by a run after the first 5, you can get even money, just plus 100. So that is one that I'm playing. And then I'm going Texas and Oakland, first 5 over 4.5 runs. Jose Urena on the mound. Russ Stripling is okay, is fine. Oakland's offense has been pretty hot. Dumbest thing I said all offseason was like, he's under. But Jose Urena is awful. So I really like this to go over 4.5 runs through the first 5 innings. So I am taking that bad boy, getting in at minus 115 because books I don't know 100% know where direction they want to go. They're just like, screw it, 115 across the board. So give me those over runs. So again, Imanaga, Harrison, K prop combo strikeouts, Arizona first 5 money line, and Texas, Oakland first 5 over total runs at 4.5, and boom.
And there you have it, everyone. Thank you for coming to the best bets of the day. Don't forget to download the Betting Pros app today to start betting smarter and not harder.
Oh, yeah.
The oh yeah was a nice touch at the end. Very nice there. All right, let's get to the home run board because, well, we can.
Because you're
now it's a little bit of a mixed bag here on the home run board today because I'm excited that I've moved up to 11, but I moved from the 10 spot to the 11 spot because everybody else got home runs too yesterday. So there you have it. That's life. That's how you live it. So today I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to show you my O face for 2 days in a row and give you Shohei Ohtani, not once, but twice. We're going to do it again. Let's keep rolling the dice here for Ohtani. He's red hot. He is locked in. When this guy's locked in, you just ride the wave right now, everybody. What are you doing, Welsh, with your home run call?
I'm so glad you're doing it. I don't know if you saw the snarky ass comment from earlier. The guy's like, I didn't need to come to this show to know that Ohtani can hit homers. It's like, okay.
That's not what we're saying. It's a contest where we pick who's going to hit a home run every day.
I know.
That's how it works.
It made me laugh, so I'm glad that you went back in on it. We should just like literally just only go like Ohtani and Aaron Judge every single day.
16 people, by the way, called Ohtani yesterday, according to Freddie. So
well, I didn't call a home run because I didn't call Ohtani yesterday.
Right.
Today, I'm going to go with my boy, Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte has got 4 straight games with a hit, had a homer on Sunday, had the day off yesterday. They've got Frankie Montas. They're in Cincinnati. Yes, give me Ketel Marte from a hometown team to get a home run today. And I know, buddy, it's not Ohtani. So now maybe he needs the show. Now he needs the show, whatever your name was, because I called Ketel Marte.
I tuned into the show for you to tell me Shohei Ohtani's good at baseball. No, but it's
you telling me the show is about Ohtani homers and cutlets? What are we talking about? You don't know what a cutlet is? You know a homer?
Well, we did have a very intellectual conversation about Jack Flaherty today. We had a very good meta conversation, as the kids like to say, about Paul Skenes. It was a very productive program. That's what I think.
I learned about cutlets. I feel great. And
there you go.
Yeah. And
yeah.
knowing
By the way,
G.I. Joe.
Drop your comments below. Subscribe to the channel. You might win a Trophy Smack Fantasy Baseball Championship belt. I didn't know that you give out belts for fantasy baseball. You play fantasy baseball, you give out belts. Well, we do. So if you'd like to win this belt, comment below. But not that comment. You make that comment, you ain't winning the belt. Tell you
Actually,
right
I
now.
hope that comment wins the belt. That would actually be hilarious. I've told everybody before. There's never been a negative comment that's won anything. So just pointing that out.
That is true. That is true. Maybe it's time. Maybe
You
the
did not
funniest
promote it.
negative comment.
You did not promote it. But remember, Friday, Joe and I have got you did yesterday, but we should do it every day. We've got our special 20K sub show on Friday. I got a part of the special thing last night that's come in. So Joe and I will be, if I just said that properly, in the surprise, in the nature of the surprise of what's going on. Part of mine is in, and Joe and I will have a little meeting after the show about our Friday show. So make sure you are locked into the YouTube channel and on the podcast. Yes. Definitely video. This is a video based.
This is a video day, folks.
Yeah.
Look, you showed up in droves on opening day. Friday, don't forget, put it in the calendar right now. Watch Leading Off live because, it's going to be good for you. That'll do it for us. But of course, the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Ooh, how's my hair?